the North Woods, a place where the air is crisp, and the silence is only broken by the whisper of the wind through the trees. Vast, cold, unforgiving. These woods have stood for centuries, witnessing the passage of time and the secrets it holds. For generations, stories passed around campfires, stories that have been told and retold, each time with a new twist, a new detail, tales whispered under a sky filled with stars. The kind of stories that make you look over your shoulder even when you know you're safe. Stories of a creature that haunts these woods, a being that is more than just a figment of imagination, a being of unimaginable hunger, a creature that embodies the very essence of insatiable greed and dark desires. This is the legend of the Wendigo, a name that sends shivers down your spine, even if you've never heard the stories before. Even its name sends shivers down your spine. It is a name that carries with it the weight of countless tales of terror. It is more than just a monster, it is a spirit, a force of nature that preys on the human spirit, feeding on our darkest fears and desires, an evil force that preys on the human spirit. It is said to embody the very worst of humanity, turning those it touches into something monstrous. It embodies greed, insatiable hunger, and the darkest desires of mankind. A creature that is both terrifying and fascinating in its complexity. This essay delves into the chilling legend of the Wendigo. We will explore the depths of this legend, uncovering the truths and myths that surround it. We will explore its origins, its symbolism, and the cultural significance it holds. From ancient folklore to modern interpretations, the Wendigo has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. And the real-life accounts that blur the line between myth and terrifying reality, stories from those who claim to have encountered the Wendigo, and the chilling evidence they present. The Wendigo is not a creature to be taken lightly. Its legend serves as a warning, a reminder of the darkness that can reside within us all. Its legend is a chilling reminder of the power of nature and the darkness that resides within us all. A darkness that, if left unchecked, can consume us entirely. Join me if you dare, as we venture into the heart of the Wendigo legend. Together we will uncover the truths and confront the fears that this legend brings to light. But be warned, you might never look at the shadows in the woods the same way again. The Wendigo is always watching, always waiting. The Algonquian tribes, spread across the northern reaches of North America, are the keepers of the Wendigo legend. These tribes, with their rich cultural heritage and deep connection to the land, have passed down the chilling tales of the Wendigo through generations. Their oral traditions are filled with stories that serve as both warnings and lessons, reflecting the harsh realities of survival in the unforgiving wilderness. Their stories paint a vivid picture of this terrifying creature. The Wendigo is not just a monster, it is a symbol of the dangers of greed and excess, a reminder of the thin line between survival and destruction. The eerie forests, often shrouded in mist and darkness, set the perfect stage for these haunting tales. Imagine a being that towers over the tallest trees. Its presence is overwhelming, casting a long shadow over the forest floor. The Wendigo's height is a testament to its otherworldly nature, a creature that defies the natural order. Its skeletal frame is almost translucent, its bones pushing against stretched, decaying skin. This grotesque appearance is a reflection of its insatiable hunger, a hunger that can never be satisfied. The Wendigo is a walking embodiment of famine and decay, a constant reminder of the fragility of life. Its eyes burn with an unnatural hunger, like flickering embers in the frozen landscape. These eyes are said to pierce through the soul, revealing the deepest fears of those who encounter it. The Wendigo's gaze is both mesmerizing and terrifying, drawing its victims closer, even as they are paralyzed with fear. Its teeth are jagged and sharp, capable of tearing through flesh with ease. These teeth are not just tools for feeding, they are weapons of terror, designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering. The Wendigo's bite is said to be excruciating, a prelude to the slow, agonizing death that follows. The Wendigo's breath is said to be colder than the winter wind, capable of freezing a man's heart in an instant. This chilling breath is a manifestation of the creature's icy soul, a soul devoid of warmth and compassion. The very air around the Wendigo seems to freeze, creating an aura of death and despair. Some stories describe the Wendigo with antlers, like a grotesque mockery of the majestic deer that roam the woods. These antlers are twisted and gnarled, a perverse imitation of nature's beauty. They serve as a stark contrast to the Wendigo's monstrous form, highlighting the creature's unnatural origins. Others speak of matted fur and long claws, reminiscent of the bears that hibernate during the harsh winters. This fur is often described as filthy and matted, a sign of the Wendigo's decay. The claws, sharp and deadly, are tools of destruction, capable of rending flesh and bone with terrifying ease. Regardless of the specific details, the Wendigo is always portrayed as a creature of decay, starvation, and insatiable hunger. It is a symbol of the darkest aspects of human nature, a reminder of what can happen when we give in to our basest instincts. The Wendigo's legend is a powerful cautionary tale, warning us of the dangers that lurk within and around us. The origins of the Wendigo legend are deeply rooted in the harsh realities of life in the North Woods. These vast, frozen landscapes were both beautiful and deadly, where survival was a constant struggle against the elements. Winters were long and unforgiving. Food was often scarce and the cold could be merciless. The snow-covered forests, while serene, hid the harsh truth of a relentless battle for survival. Tribes faced the very real threat of starvation. The land, blanketed in snow, offered little in the way of sustenance. Hunting was difficult, and gathering was nearly impossible. It was during these desperate times when survival was at stake that the legend of the Wendigo took hold. The fear of starvation and the extreme measures it could drive people to were embodied in this terrifying myth. The Wendigo, it was said, was once a human being. A person who, in the face of unimaginable hunger, succumbed to the darkest of human instincts. Driven to the brink of madness by extreme hunger, this person resorted to cannibalism to survive. This act, considered a taboo of the highest order, was believed to corrupt their very soul. This act, a taboo of the highest order, twisted them into the monstrous Wendigo. The transformation was not just physical but spiritual, turning them into a creature of insatiable hunger and malevolence. The legend served as a powerful cautionary tale. It was a story passed down through generations, warning of the dangers of losing one's humanity in the face of desperation. It reminded people of the dangers of greed and the importance of community in the face of hardship. In these harsh conditions, survival depended on cooperation and mutual support. To give in to one's darkest impulses, to prioritize survival over compassion, was to risk becoming the very monster that haunted their nightmares. The Wendigo was a stark reminder of the thin line between humanity and monstrosity, a line that could be crossed in the blink of an eye. The legend of the Wendigo extends beyond folklore and fireside stories. There have been numerous accounts, documented and whispered, of encounters with something unexplainable in the wilderness. These accounts come from trappers, explorers, and even modern-day hikers. One such account tells the story of a group of fur trappers in the early 1900s. They reported seeing a tall, emaciated figure watching them from the edge of the woods. The creature's eyes glowed with an eerie light, and its presence filled them with an overwhelming sense of dread. Another account describes strange tracks found in the snow, massive footprints too large and too far apart to belong to any known animal. Some believe these to be the tracks of the Wendigo, prowling the woods in search of its next victim. The Wendigo legend is more than just a scary story. It delves into the depths of human psychology, exploring the darkness that lies within us all. The Wendigo represents the dangers of unchecked greed, selfishness, and the potential for humans to become monsters in the face of desperation. The transformation from human to Wendigo is not just a physical one, it is a moral and spiritual corruption. The creature embodies the fear of losing one's humanity, of succumbing to our basest instincts. The Wendigo legend serves as a reminder of the importance of balance. It highlights the need for community, compassion, and respect for the natural world. It is a cautionary tale about the fine line between civilization and savagery, and the choices we make that determine which side we fall on. While the Wendigo is firmly rooted in folklore, there have been attempts to find real-world explanations for the legend. Some researchers point to cases of Wendigo psychosis, a cultural phenomenon observed in some Native American communities. This psychosis is characterized by symptoms like delusions of grandeur, an insatiable appetite for human flesh, and a profound disconnect from reality. While this condition is often attributed to cultural beliefs, some scientists believe it could be linked to nutritional deficiencies or other medical conditions. Another theory suggests that the Wendigo legend served as a way to explain cases of cannibalism that may have occurred during times of famine. By attributing these acts to a supernatural creature, communities could cope with the horror and maintain a sense of order in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The legend of the Wendigo continues to captivate and terrify us to this day. Whether a mythical creature or a manifestation of our darkest fears, the Wendigo has secured its place in our collective imagination. The Wendigo story reminds us that the wilderness holds secrets. Some secrets are best left undisturbed. As you venture into the woods, remember the legend of the Wendigo. Listen closely to the whispers of the wind through the trees. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.